What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Guys with Boss. This week, we're going to be doing a recap of week one of the NFL season. I'm not even going to talk about the Eagles game first because I'm still upset about that.
You can't not talk about it, though. Like
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, but not first. Because it's only going to make me mad.
Listen, we can start it off with Monday Night Football.
Oh, here we go.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
for the most Monday Night Football wins in NFL history.
Bro, you got the most.
I told everyone on the channel last
Bro,
week, if you got Saquon Barkley,
pulling, bro.
put him on the bench. He was not getting no yards. And what happened? Ben had more rushing yards than Saquon. He only had 6 rushing yards throughout the whole game. Most of the game, he was with negative yards. Feel bad for you fantasy owners out there with him on there. Maybe better luck this week.
You done?
Or you finished?
No, I still got one other thing, though. Marquise Pouncey and Alejandro Villanueva. I don't care how you say the name. I'm going to disrespect the name because he's disrespectful.
You said Charlie Villanueva? Wrong sport, bro.
Take a knee, put the proper name on there. And Pouncey, nobody cares about the relations you work with the cops. They shot a man in the back without a weapon and killed him.
Perfect.
You were never in the wrong for supporting the cause of getting equality and justice. And anyway, let's carry on. Right. Those are hot issues right now.
All right, let's go to a better game to talk about.
How about the Bucks?
That's what I was going to. The Saints versus the Bucks.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy though. The coach openly said he looks like Tom Brady in practice.
Oh, damn!
Like,
that's crazy.
How do you call your quarterback out like that? He said he looked like Tom Brady in practice. But there's a lot of controversy over what he said because even Brett Favre had commented. He was like, you shouldn't talk to him like that. Blah 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 blah. And I'm a big fan of, Skip Bayless, Undisputed, and, him and Shannon Sharp. And I think Shannon made a valid point. He talked about when he was when he left Denver and went to the Ravens.
Baltimore?
Yeah. He said that it wasn't an issue if the coach talked to him that way because they had that conversation behind closed doors. And I kind of get it because, the quarterback is usually the person that's, not supposed to get chewed out. But in certain situations, come on, man. I feel like if it's your fault, it's your fault. You can't blame the O-line. It's the same O-line that what's the guy last year? He was
Jameis.
He threw a bunch of picks. It's the same O-line he had. The same O-line. So, he did get smacked, but he just threw picks for fun. That's just what he do. He get the ball to the other team. That's what he do for hobby.
What I seen on Facebook, which was hilarious. It was a picture of Tom Brady in his Buccaneers uniform. And then you know how it starts, it's 4 pitches and it starts to fade out. And it showed MJ in a Wizards uniform. I was no more good. So is this Tom Brady, MJ with the Wizards?
That's not a fair comparison.
I'm gonna say
the reason why I say it's not a fair comparison. Mike Jordan didn't come back with I'm about to take away from the championship. Mike Jordan, in my opinion, Mike Jordan knew he had some juice left in the tank. He wanted to see what he could do. But Mike Jordan still came back and averaged 22, 24 points. He put up some numbers. He didn't win as many games the 2 years, but he put up some numbers. He was still Mike at the end of the day. He wasn't MJ, but he was still Mike. That's my take on it. He was Mike. He was Michael Jordan. He wasn't MJ.
This man should have been retired. That's the problem right now. Tom should have retired instead of going to another team.
You think so?
Yes. You know why?
He should have retired when he was
the referees ain't following with him. So, just like the meme that's been going around, what, y'all don't cheat on here either? Yeah, Tom, it's a whole nother ball game. You in a whole nother element outside of the AFC East.
Even
You
though
don't
y'all
get
went
help from the
outside of
refs.
Belichick.
You don't have Belichick. You have all the weapons, but you've always had Tom always has had the problem of being the first to get hit, in my opinion. You start rattling him when you get him hit, he can't play. It's like playing Madden when your quarterback starts taking a lot of sacks, how you start throwing these dumb passes.
Oh, that's just my
I feel like there was a shot
man.
at Carson. I feel like there was a shot at Carson.
No, I didn't say Carson's name. You said it.
No. I said I feel like there was a shot. There was a subliminal shot.
No. If anything, it'd have been more so towards some Jets seeing Ghost Sam Darnold.
My thing is, I feel like Tom Brady is still Tom Brady. But I did say in the previous show, I was like, on paper, everything looks better than what it sometimes is. It's only one
Tom Brady or is it Tom Terrific?
It's only been one game. It's only been one game, but like I said, I told y'all guys, I'm like, it's better to go when we were doing game predictions last week. I said it's better to go with the W you know than the W you don't. We know what the Saints are capable of. We know the team they have.
Mind you, he's talking about for football, not for the election.
Now, mind you, the Saints did lose Michael Thomas in that game to a high ankle sprain. He's going to be out for a couple weeks, so that's going to be a hurt piece for them. But they're a loaded offense. I feel like it's going to take a little bit longer for the Bucs to, get the ball rolling. No preseason, everything. I mean, it's a lot different with game speed than it is playing with your teammates in practice. Your teammates, they're going to take a little easy on you. Tom Brady has a target on his back. And you were playing a division rival. If we know one thing about the Saints defense is, they like to hit and they like to put players out. So I mean, he's gonna have to bring like 2003, 2004 Tom Brady the next time they play the Saints.
Yeah. All right, so let's address the elephant in the room, man. What happened to our boys, man? He was up 17-0. 17-0, and it looked like it was about to be 67-0. What happened to our boys, man?
Can I go first for all my controversy?
No, you shut up. You go.
I just want to know, do Carson owe anybody on the offensive line some money? Because
somebody said, Carson out there. So that's what they were saying. They're like, Carson out here slaying all the offensive linemen's wives. I'm like, are y'all serious?
Like, this man was not blocking.
I feel like Carson, he came out hot. He played great for like the first quarter and a half. But like I said on the previous show, Chase Young is a problem. And it wasn't just Chase Young. It was the whole defense. Ryan Kerrigan
Sweat.
I mean, they had 7 sacks. They became one-dimensional. They fell in love with the deep ball. He overthrew Deshaun Jackson. From our vantage point on the TV, it looked like he overthrew what's his name? Jalen Reagor a couple of times, but actually it came out that Jalen Reagor didn't track the ball well. It was actually a perfectly thrown ball in 2 of those deep passes, so they were like 1 for 3. I think offensively we became really one-dimensional with lack of running game and, Lane Johnson not being there to plow the road. We had, 2 guys from Walmart basically on the offensive line and the guy from...
You can't say it about Driscoll because he played pretty good.
No, Driscoll was good, but I'm talking about the dude we got from Moana from Disney Channel. He was on the offense. What's his name? Maliata or whatever?
Malata.
He was trash. It was just, it was just a bad showing for the offensive line. I mean, we've all seen the picture of the 3 offensive lines sitting there playing rock, paper, scissors like the Ginyu Force while Carson gets torn alive by a pack of hyenas, basically. It was just a bad showing.
Did you see that picture of the white lady sitting on the couch with Carson's face and the 7 black men that was behind it was watching the defenders? I said, come on, yo.
I didn't see it, but I can picture it. But to wrap it up, I will say this. We play the Rams this coming week. We've all seen the recap of Aaron Donald absolutely disrespecting and bullying the Dallas offensive line.
Yep.
If they don't get it together, Carson Wentz ain't making it out of that game on his own 2 feet. I'm gonna just say that.
This game might make or break y'all season.
One positive though. Shout out to my man Darius Slay. He held it down.
Question.
Yeah.
You said what game may break the season? Game 2 or game 1?
Game 2. Because
Bro, the season. I don't know if you saw the same game I saw, but this season is already broken, son.
no, you have a chance to heal and repair if you can
Mm-mm.
if you can keep Carson healthy in this game here, and you muster some blocking, you have a chance.
We're gonna need mustard and ketchup for them blocking.
In this game, it's done.
So, I hear what Kurt's saying. He definitely overthrew Deshaun. He overthrew Ertz. He overthrew Rager. One of those times he overthrew him.
He overthrew you too.
You saw me out there?
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't. Yeah, we had a couple injuries. He was a little banged up. Deshaun got hurt. You saw him out there laying around stretching and all kinds of stuff, face all balled up. But I don't really take that as a excuse because when we won the Super Bowl, we had banged up players. We had bench players. So to me, it's like, yo, you got to be ready. If you're the next man up, you're the next man up. For me, I think that Carson Wentz play from first half to second half, he looks like the Clippers. In the second half, it's like, yo, where you at? And his numbers were good. The one pick, the first pick that he threw, I think that the ball jumped the route. It was a good read on the ball. The second pick, bro, I don't know what he was doing. And it's
He threw it, but the receiver got bullied.
I mean,
Took it right out of his hands.
I mean, he looked like one of my offenses on Madden. That's what he looked like. He looked like he was in a Tampa 2. Right. He was in a Tampa 2, and he controlled the man the wrong way, and it was a pick. But
he also got bullied.
Me personally, I feel like the Carson Wentz that we all like, us as Eagles fans, became to love, and the Carson Wentz that we're watching right now was not the same. I feel like a lot of times people get injured and they never bounce back from the injuries. And I feel like some of the stuff is a mental thing for him. Because before, his first season and a half, you would see Carson take off when they come in. Now he does this dumb duck where he looked like he putting his face in his nuts, and then he gets sacked. Don't get it twisted. The first joint, it was smooth, like, oh, he got moves. Like the first year we saw it. But now it's like, bro, you already had back issues last year. Do you want your back, bro? Do you want your back? Me personally, I think he don't have a heart no more. And I think this is the controversial part right here. I think while you can get something for him, you get rid of him.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not even gonna comment on that one. I'm not gonna comment on that. I'm gonna just say this. He does too much. He tries to do too much. He literally, like that play for this is how I knew he's trying too much. He's trying too hard to win. Trying too hard to make a play. Most quarterbacks, when they see a screen gets blown up, they throw right at the running back's feet. When he did not do that, he tried to make a play. I say, yeah, he's trying to do too much. He's trying to do way too much. There is no reason that a quarterback in any situation should take a sack on a screenplay. Because all you got to do if the screen is blown up is throw it at the receiver's feet. No matter if you in the pocket, outside the pocket, because they're going to still say, oh, the receiver was right there. For him not to throw the ball away at that instant, that proves to me that he's trying too hard to will his team to win.
Listen, he's trying to put the whole team on his back and on his shoulders.
When he doesn't have to. He can't
put,
that's my point.
Now that broke back, he can't.
Well, he's still in that late 2019 mindset. He still thinks because he's the quote unquote veteran on the team now, and it's a bunch of young guys. He feel like he has to do it all, especially with lack of running game. And to Rome's point, yeah, back then we did have backups who came in and stepped up, but it's a difference when your backup is LeGarrette Blount, and this time your backup is Boston Scott. It's a difference.
Yeah, but the backups, but the backups then are the starters now. Some of them.
And that's true. But you got tons of film and breakdown on them backups now too. Back then you didn't have that.
Well, that's true. That's a valid point.
That's why I don't think. That's why I still don't think. On a side note, for another team that lost, the Cowboys. That's why I don't have faith in Dak Prescott, because it's like everybody thinks, he's this and he's that. But if you watch film and you watch a breakdown, for every one thing he does right, he does two things terribly.
Like, I can agree with that.
He's still insanely inaccurate for a quarterback, and he wants to get paid like Patrick Mahomes. No, that's not going to happen.
So here's my views on Dak. I actually think Dak's a pretty good quarterback. Like he's not great. He's not the best. It's only two quarterbacks in the Eagles division, but I mean, I don't know. I think Dak is pretty good. But because I'm an Eagles fan, I'm just supposed to hate Dak Prescott, so I hate him. But I think he's definitely not accurate. And I do believe, and I've said this before, like when people bring up that argument between Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott, if you give Carson Wentz the same weapons that Dak Prescott had, that's a Super Bowl team.
Oh, for sure. If you put Carson Wentz,
it's a Super Bowl team.
If you put Carson Wentz on the Cowboys would have at least gone to the Super Bowl at least once in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, and I mean, even because the Cowboys have a pretty good line too, and I think a lot of Carson's downfall has to do with the line being banged up from time and time again. But it's like, bro, you have that ability to take off. Like, I'm not saying you coming out here being the white Mike Vick or nothing like that, but I'm like, bro, we saw you do it.
I have recently seen him not scrambling as much as he could.
Yeah,
but also if you look at it though, Doug is not helping him either though.
And that's what I'm about to get to. I feel like it's a twist. I feel like so I always said I didn't have a kid. I always said that if you look at the Chiefs, the Chiefs, like their whole scheme of offense or whatever, I said to myself that as many years we had Andy Reid, either Andy Reid changed up his scheme or Andy Reid took Doug Peterson's scheme. Because Doug Peterson, I mean, if you look at the Chiefs, they had a great quarterback. Yeah, he's a gunslinger. Yeah, you got Tyreek Hill. Their defense wasn't the best, but they got all small receivers, and they run a two tight end set with these big tight ends where there's nothing you can do with them for real. And I feel like that was a Doug Peterson thing that Andy Reid took, because it's just different. But there comes a point in time from us watching Andy Reid, from Donovan McNabb to Mike Vick, and that you can say Jeff Garcia. They were
this man just
going
like disrespect Kevin Cobb and not even say his name.
Kevin Cobb wasn't a scrambler though. I'm going based off quarterback that scrambled. Kevin Cobb didn't scramble. And then they got to a point in their career they just stopped. Like McNabb threw the ball in the dirt. Vic was just like, well, I'm a scramble, but I'm gonna try to be a quarterback that's a gunslinger. Bro, not to be rude, that's not what black quarterbacks out there just to do. We all did the run and throw. So I feel like you're right. I feel like he's not getting help, but I think he's not getting help because of from what he watched from coming up from Andy Reid. It's like, so stand there and throw the ball. Make the effort to make the play. Make that initial read, because all the quarterbacks that we had issues with, they held the ball too long. I think part of the problem is Carson Wentz holding the ball too long. Just throw it away. Like let's go. Especially go ahead.
I was gonna say he has this thing now where he don't even throw the ball. Well, he throws the ball away, but his idea of throwing the ball away is when he's about to get pulverized to just chuck it up for 60 yards down the field, and whatever happens. He did that quite a few times against the Redskins.
Yeah, he overthrows the receivers when he does that crap. Like it's just like Carson Wentz is, and this is probably about to be, it's not ignorant, it's kind of accurate. Carson Wentz under pressure is like the quarterback meter it's like the quarterback on under pressure on Madden. And they just let the ball go, and then the thing pops up and says under pressure throw. Yeah, we know. Like, and then I think another reason why we have these little running backs who, even if they set the block, like I love Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles had heart. Darren Sproles was 2'2" and weighed probably 192 pounds. But he had heart. He would block. And he would step up. He'd make the block. I don't think our running backs are doing that. I don't know if they're taught to do it. I don't know if one of them joins like, yo, just running be a speed back out the backfield. Like, I don't know, but it's a lot of issues going on with the Philadelphia offense.
No, with Deuce, man, Deuce is definitely teaching them to block. I just think it was literally not having Miles Sanders, bro. I think this week, if Miles Sanders play, which they say he's on track, I think it will look different. I pray that it looks different.
We're gonna need something because Aaron Donald look like he's hungry.
Yeah, he's eating people's lunch, breakfast, dinner, taking their wives.
He eating their kids too. Mike Tyson style. Mike Tyson. You break in your house and eat your kids.
All right. Anyway, one more game. Let's do a quick one of the number one overall pick.
Did they almost come back and win?
Mr. Joe Burrow, they would have won if his kicker could kick a chip shot field goal, or if they didn't call so many offensive pass interferences in week one.
That one in the end zone was offensive pass interference.
I mean, yeah, it was, but I'm just saying.
It was more pass interference than we go to the Cowboys in the Rams game.
Oh, that was blatant pass interference.
I mean, both of them were, but you could see it evidently more in the one for the Browns. Oh, I'm sorry, the Bengals and Chargers game. But I don't know. Is he worth the overall pick right now after week one? Or is the jury still out?
Well, I mean, obviously the jury's still going to still out, but he looks good.
I
mean, he was the number one pick based off what he did in college. I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be very interesting on Thursday Night Football in a few minutes. We got both number one picks from the last 2 years in Baker Mayfield and Mr. Joe Burrow. So we're going to see.
It's going to be interesting to see. But
you mean 2 years from
Baker, right? 2 years.
Both Heisman. And I'm mad they keep throwing this around that Ben's the only quarterback in this division without Heisman. Got a number of young quarterbacks out here going up against.
I mean, Ben's the only one in the division with 2 Super Bowl rings too. I mean,
well, with a ring, period.
He went to Miami of Ohio though.
I know.
A Heisman going there.
I know.
Isn't there only 2 players in the NFL that went to Miami of Ohio?
Big Ben is one of the quarterbacks.
Ben and Brandon Brooks.
Big Ben is
at one point,
one of my all-time favorite. He's one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks. I just hate the fact that he plays with Billy. But the fact they don't have a Heisman is not really.
My favorite quarterback from that draft was actually Phillip Rivers.
In my opinion, he was the worst one of the draft. As far as
a lot of people,
in the NFL.
People sleep on Phillip Rivers because of where he was. But his numbers are actually pretty good.
No, it's not about the numbers. It's about when it came down to playoffs. He choked in the playoffs every time.
The man took his team to an AFC championship where it torn ACL. That's enough said.
No, I actually thought, looking back on that draft, I actually really thought Eli Manning was going to be the most trash. But Eli Manning, he had a storied career. I mean, he's going to the Hall of Fame. He won. He knocked the Patriots off twice.
He's going on a Hall of Fame with a 500 record.
What's
his last name again?
He going on the Hall of Fame just because of man.
I don't care. His last name could be Goodell.
He's going into the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, because of it's not just his last name. I don't like Eli Manning at all. I think Eli Manning.
I don't think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Hall of Fame quarterback.
I mean, but it's one of those things where his numbers aren't the best, and I'm not taking that for Eli Manning because I despise Eli Manning. I feel like Eli Manning is only going to the Hall of Fame, one because he won 2 Super Bowls, but he won those 2 Super Bowls and he was the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
But people fail to realize the fact that, bro, you had a great defense that year. Like, your defense carried you.
Mm-hmm. Because
Eli Manning,
front 7 was savage.
Eli Manning is a turnover machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he was a gunslinger like Brett Favre was a gunslinger. So somebody catching the ball. You don't know who, but you know somebody. He was a gunslinger
down there.
Yeah.
Does he have a winning record versus the Eagles? Like, this is not like
no, I don't think
Eli?
so.
Yeah, because I feel like every time we played the Giants and we had to beat them, majority of the time, we always beat them. Like,
I don't think he has a winning record.
He does.
Okay.
I don't think. I can't pull up the
No, I think
documentation.
Rick will probably pull it up.
Yeah,
Nah,
his
he looking-
overall is 10-22.
Against the Eagles?
Yeah, 10-22.
Jesus.
Okay, well that's
We own
that's
that man.
right.
I wish we had
But
the
yeah,
same record
I
versus
never-
Tony Romo.
Yeah, Romo used to light us up a little bit. Romo used to get busy.
Yeah.